in the kind of realms of the future, where will we finish? Maybe I'll start off. I mean, I'm definitely pushing for a top two. I value the top two massively, or even maybe the third position. Fourth, a little bit tricky. Second and third, one, two, three is okay because maybe two and three you can, if you win that game away, you take one to four. Sometimes always seems a bit tricky. Like when we played Penrith from the fourth position, that was a tough one, and we beat the Knights, and then you got robbed by the NFL. Pass interference. But yeah, but you know what I mean. Like I really want to push for that top two, or even a three. That's and like it's possible. Like, and I'm not being disrespectful. We know the NRL is a tough comp. Every team on their days beatable. But you're looking at the opposition we've got coming against us. They are majority in the bottom at the moment. Not to say we're going to win it, but you should go on confident, feeling like, yeah, we should get this. But Ash, where do you kind of see us? Do you see us maybe dropping out? Maybe things will catch up with us, or what's your thoughts?
No, I honestly, bro, I really think that we're definitely in that 1 to 4 range. It's just really willing on where we can sit due to other, situations, right? The Raiders keep on doing what they're doing. I think they're going to be a tough beat at the moment. They're at 11 wins. The Dogs are at 10. It's only due to buyers that they're sitting underneath them. So if they continue on their hot little run, which I'm kind of like seeing the Raiders, they're playing incredible footy. But like as Josh and I said, I still look at these other sides too and just be like, hey, like we can be right there with them. I reckon full strength Warriors versus full strength Raiders, I reckon we can take it to these guys. So I'd say 1 to 4 for sure. If you want me to nail down a number, I'm probably going to say land about third place. I think I think the Melbourne Storm will probably come home strong because Craig Bellamy will whip him into gear. But this is only just wishful thinking in that sort of sense because Melbourne have shown very up and down moments this year as well as we've all seen this year. So as majority of this competition. So honestly, bro, I think we have an opportunity to maybe even sneak a minor premiership if we can. Like if people really want it that way, there's an opportunity there if we just keep on keeping on. But at the moment, I'm going to sit us about third and then just really, cheer the boys on from there.
Yeah, Josh, man, what are you thinking?
Yeah, minor prem's just nice and easy. No, no. I think. Look, I don't know if the Bulldogs will stay where they are. I think the Bulldogs are showing cracks. I think obviously there's parts of their game which are so tight and so this is how they play and it's down to Serraldo coming from that Penrith line and bringing half the Penrith team with them. I do see top 4 easily. I think with our run home, I can't see us falling out. I can't see us losing too many more games this year either. I think, like you said, the Storm will come home strong. They always do. They always get, it gets to the finals and it's like, oh, the Storm are there again. Here we go. Yeah. Somehow every final game seems to be played and, every prelim seems to happen in Melbourne once a year. So, I'd like to say second. I'd like to push us for second. I think, to me, I think the Raiders might a premiership.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the buys for the rest of the season. I think they're having the first buy this weekend, which is crazy.
Much, crazy. Yeah, they've had a great run.
And they've been playing great. So, I mean, if we have a look at the run home for both of those teams, I think it's pretty simple. Whereas, like with the Bulldogs, it seems like now they're facing the bit more of the tougher teams. They come up against us again, or for the first time in the year, in round 23 or something like that. And they come up against the Storm. They come up against these teams they haven't had to face so far this year. I think they faced the Eels twice, the Titans twice. All these teams sitting near the bottom, and it's hey, we parade that we won by 15 or won by 20 against them, when in reality they're bit easy beat. So it'll be interesting to see them with a bit of a tougher draw. And for that, I think I have them slipping to third. I think they'll still play pretty well. But I'd love to see us at home in a first round game against them.
Yeah, and I think the thing with the Dogs too, just quickly, with their run in, I think Serrato's said many times that he's learnt off of last year and how the Dogs ran off, run out a little bit of steam towards the end of the season and didn't really prepare for that final series properly. I think there is an opportunity where they might tail off just a tad. He probably won't say it in that sort of sense because obviously they're a culture of just continuing it on. But I think, some of the Spartans coaches like Ivan Cleary's and stuff like that, they've kind of tailed off a little bit, got everyone ready. Craig Bellamy's well known for that and get him into the finals. So, as I said, that gives us all the opportunity to finish somewhere within that top four, which, from the year to start off when I said top 8 is a very high, or hopefully a possibility to this is crazy.
Yeah, bro. No, it's and I think to be fair, we're looking at it from an actual logical, like we're not being happy-go-lucky predicting. Yeah, we're gonna get we're actually nailing this on and thinking, no, the teams beat everyone they're supposed to beat if they're a legit team. Yep, had a tight one against the Raiders, which was a great battle. Storm, yet that's the only one we know that history, and we need to get over that. But everything else is like, okay, well. We're doing the business, so I'm with you guys, bro. Absolutely. Just want to quickly get to our brother, Lexi, man. Good to see you, brother. It's been a while, man, but I know you've been busy with life, and welcome back, man. And please, brother, jump on our Discord. We kind of transitioned from the WhatsApp space. We're in the Discord now. We can help you get that. It's in the community post as well. The steps to how to get your Discord up and running. But man, it's great to have you back, brother. And appreciate you for joining back in. But yeah, come drop in the Discord for sure. And leave on James. Hopefully this helps towards the grand final tickets. Yeah, bro, that'll be my pie on the way to the. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're a legend, brother. You're a legend. Hey, we all got to go, bro. So I'll put that money away. I'll put it back on the tickets. We all go together. How's that sound?
Bro, I started saving after I think round 3 when we beat the Roosters. I was like, all right, I got to get serious now. Yeah. And then after round 4 against the Storm, I went, oh, never mind.
Nah, bro, do it, man. It's a great. I'll just quickly I'll get to this. Any of you guys, if you want to take this one, do you guys shout out Luke Adams? Do you guys going to issue and go into the finals that we haven't beaten a top 4 side yet? Would love you to pick this apart. Anyone can.
Well, on that point, depending on what we classify, so top 4 right now, yeah, 100%. Obviously, we haven't played the Dogs, and Melbourne and the Raiders have beaten us. But during the season, last time I was running numbers and stuff, the Manly Seagulls were top 4 when we beat them. When they were running hot to start. I know the second game of the season, but they were top 4 and they were supposed to smoke us by 50 that game, and it didn't happen. The Tigers, the Tigers were top 8. The Broncos were a top 4 side. I'm pretty sure a top 8 side around that period when we were beating them as well. So I think there was a couple of top 4 wins that we got. I ran the numbers earlier on the season, so I was just trying to check on my phone if I have it back up. Yeah. But there was a couple of teams that we beat when they were in top 4 form that we end up peeling them off. But if you're talking about the Raiders and the Melbourne Storm, yeah, obviously when it comes crunch time, I think we've given 2 good performances against not 2, but 1 good performance against the Raiders there, where it makes it look like, well, I reckon in full strength, I reckon we could take it to the Raiders for sure on their day. The Melbourne Storm on their day is always going to be a tough beat for the Warriors, and I think it's a tough beat for any team in the competition. But I think the Dogs, I reckon we can compete with the Dogs for sure. I really do.
Yeah. Josh, anything on that one?
Yeah. Oh, just a short one. I think by the time we get to finals and into the top 4, we'll have already beaten the Dogs as well. So that'll be pretty good, to go in and feel pretty confident about that. So.
Yeah, I think the Melbourne ones, it's only tricky because you know what you're coming up against, and you know what they're going to do. You just have to be very I go back to Sean 2011. You need to have a clutch moment. I think we've got halves. I think Metcalf could pull something off. I think if they got in that situation again in a finals moment, I can see our boys delivering. I do. I really do. And you actually have to approach the Storm with no fear. You have to you have to believe. It's a mentality thing. So, but I've got no issue personally, Luke. But great question, bro. Really do 100%. Appreciate that. Boys, yeah, shout out Lexi, man. Yep, good to see you, brother. Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay, let's get into now. just quickly on this, we'll keep this one quick. Next 4: Panthers, Broncos, Tigers, Knights. Panthers starting to pick up again. Any fears on the Panthers and how they're tracking, or is it you think we should be playing them at home? We should go all right. What do you reckon, Ash?
Yeah, I'm still not fully convinced on the Panthers just yet. Like, 2 good wins, obviously getting back on the winning track for the Penrith Panthers, but very close ones. The Eels obviously are close. The Eels are starting to kick back into form. And last weekend, I'm still not seeing the same Panthers what we've seen before. And hopefully, obviously, next weekend they bring out the old school Panthers on us for sure. But I'm looking at it as like, oh, okay, they're definitely beatable. We've done very well against the Panthers in the past anyway, under Webby's tenure anyway. The Magic Round game that we had where we barely had anyone on that football field, that was touching first grade, and we ended up getting a good win there. So I think we can definitely take it to those guys. The other games you're talking about there, the Broncos, I reckon that's a really good battle if they kick into form. The West Tigers, I reckon we can definitely take it to the West Tigers. We've done it earlier this season, and the Tigers are kind of in that stage at the moment, losing Lockie Galvin, a lot of media around the club. And the Newcastle Knights, just right now, they're unfortunately, it seems like the energy is getting soaked out of that. A good win over the weekend for the Knights, but I just don't know about the Knights. I still don't know about the Knights.
Yeah, agree. Josh, what are your thoughts on that next 4?
Yeah, I'm always wary with the Panthers. I think it's just the name, right? Like you've seen them win the last 4 comps in a row, could have won the last 5. But they do fly over here, and their Origin players aren't coming. They won't have Edwards, Cleary, or Yo. Unless something else happens. And I think did Lindsay Smith make it in as well? Do we know about that or not?
Yeah, he was extended squad from memory, but I'm not sure injury will push that, so he'll be back.
He'll come across. But those 3 players, when you list off the Panthers' 3 best players, they're all probably going to be gone, which makes me a bit nervous. Because like what happened at Magic Round last year, we snuck up on them with our players out, with our boys out, and so I don't know. I'd like to say it's a win. I'm confident in our boys. Obviously, we probably won't have capes, but we'll be pretty sorted. The one I'm most worried about is the Broncos game at Suncorp. We've had the Broncos number this year. But Suncorp is a place. We've been pretty lucky this year in the way we've played. We've done pretty well there. But yeah, I don't know. The Broncos may be turning a corner. It'll be interesting to see their next game, kind of how they play, and then how they reintegrate Reece Walsh into the side. And then to me, the Tigers and Knights should be all right games. I think we'll coast through those.
Yeah.
Hopefully not coast. Hopefully it'll be more of a win.
I know what you mean.
Like an easy win, but I don't want to say easy win because
What would that put us on if we won those 4? That would put us on 34 points? What are we on now? 24, 20? 24 after the bye, so 26, 28, 30, 30.
32 plus another bye in there as well. So 34.
Yep. Ash, just check this back at you. Do you think? Remember our 2023 run? We did start to fade a little bit on the back end.
Yep.
Do you think that will have some of those tricky kind of niggles, injuries, tiredness kind of come through again, or do you think we're a little bit more prepared for this particular run?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of variables that can come into effect. But the thing is, going off of the history that showed this year in general, our away form is 5-2. I heard it on a show just recently, 5-2. But if you take away the Vegas game, which was an away game as well, we're 5-1, and we've pretty much won nearly every game in Sydney. So it shows that we can travel, and we've done it fairly well. We traveled for the last couple of weeks thinking there was going to be a drop off, and fortunately, the boys have just continued to hold a really high standard. And I think Fish and that at the club has probably held that high standard all the way through. When you're looking at tough games like the Panthers and that, even though at Auckland, like there was a nice comment before, I think Fish is going to really take that one personal to go up against Moses Leota and the Panthers again, to try and take it to them. And then just our run home, we got we go Auckland, then we travel, we go Auckland, and then we travel. So there's a lot of periods where we are getting on the plane, off the plane. But as I said before, like history has showed this year that we got the ability to do so. And I think Webby's learnt a lot of lessons from last year, as he's pointed out a couple of times around travel and how we're going to sort that out. Because from memory, this year when we had our 3 away games straight, I think it was, or 3 or 4, the boys travelled back and forth from New Zealand to Australia through those periods because he learnt that it was a little bit easier for the boys than what it was to stay over there away from family. So I think that we're in good stead to hold up our form. And, these young kids that are stepping up are taking over these older boys' spots that are maybe their body's getting a little bit beaten. If they're able to overtake those boys as well, I think the boys can hold consistency.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Hey, shout out to Luke Adams, man. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. We're grateful to have you in here, man, for sure. And I did see this quick question. Maybe just do one or two words for how much would you offer Metcalf to keep Metcalf into the team? Ash?
850 to $1 million.
850 to $1 million. Josh?
I was going to say 750 to 950, like in that range.
Yeah. Can we lowball with a 5? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Luke, man, we'll hook you up with a house, and
I think Levon James as well. He'll chuck some money in to chuck.
We'll chuck that money back in. Yeah. We'll put it back in the pot, bro, for sure.
I'll give him SJ's podcast as well. He can.
Yeah, 800 in a podcast. Yeah. I love it, bro. No, I love it, people. Yeah, I think that's the ballpark range, like minimum. That is the range that you want to go for someone of his talent. Okay, guys. I was going to do bold predictions. We'll leave it till the end after we've talked. We might talk ourselves into something massive, like landing on the moon or something like that. Let's do our tier list.
I believe in this team.
I believe. Let's get our tier list.